Good day, guys. Thank you for watching my videos again. Yeah, it's Dibax, Maths and Science tutor. I could say over 2000. Long story short, today we'll be learning about hyperbolic function. We'll be learning about hyperbolic function. So you can use this video if you're doing grade 10 to 12. So throughout, you can use this video to advance your skills. Okay, let's get started. A standard formula of a hyperbolic function, it's y equals a over x minus p plus q. This is a standard formula of a hyperbolic function. So p, it's a domain. Q is your range. Domain and range. And then p, agree here you can see p, it's negative. Once it goes to a graph, it becomes a positive. Then this one doesn't change any sign. For example, let me see. Let me just draw. Okay, let me just generate a formula here. A valid formula. Maybe let's say we had a or a. Maybe it's 3 over x minus 5, and then this can be plus 2 maybe. Okay, let's say they give you this they give you this formula. They say you can you please draw a graph of this. Then you'll start. Okay, guys, maths is very easy. Maths is very easy. These guys are just trying to trick us. So if you can ease your mind, then you're gonna be able to conquer everything. So once you start drawing this hyperbolic function, you must start by drawing your asymptotes. So let's start with this one. This is your range. This one is your range. Then this one is your domain. So here's what I did when I was doing high school. So you see range has this tail. So they're talking about y, and get what y like this is your x axis, then there's your y axis. So once they're talking about range has this tail, so you can cram it by like range has this tail, and then y also has a tail. So once they're talking about the range, they're talking about the y axis, y points here. And then once they're talking about the domain, they're talking about the x axis, the points on the x axis. So your range in this case is 2. So 2 is somewhere here. 2 is somewhere here. Then you write your 2. So you write your dotted lines. And a domain and a range, there are some things called asymptotes. Range is your range. Range is the y asymptote, and then the domain is the x asymptote. Asymptote it's a point. Asymptotes are points where the graph will never touch, or will never meet, or will never reach. An asymptote, it's a point where this graph will never touch. Don't touch there. Okay, our y asymptote in this case is 2, right? So we wrote our dotted lines here. Then you see here, in this case our domain is -5. So here it should be +5. The reason is because I didn't know it's y minus 5, right, equals 0. So when you solve for x, obviously you must take this to the other side. Then once you take this to the other side, it changes a sign. So when it's negative, now it becomes positive. So your x becomes 5, +5. That's why when it's negative here, then you must write it as positive here. If it was positive, we should have written it as negative. So in this case, they given us as -5. So that's why it's a positive. I hope you understand So 5 is somewhere here. 5 is somewhere here. So 5 is somewhere here. Yeah. Then you are almost done here. You are almost done. You are almost done. So yeah, I was just actually showing you how to draw the asymptotes, the range in the domain, the y asymptote, x asymptote, range, domain. Simple as that. So asymptotes, these are asymptotes. These are asymptotes. These are asymptotes. Asymptotes is that it's where the graph will never touch. And then this one is a range. It's asymptote. It's y asymptote, or let me write it like this: y asymptote. We should cram it like this, and then this one x. Don't cram maths. Just there are some things that you should cram in within maths, not mathematics. Because once you start to cram maths, yes, I promise you, it will chow you. But there are some things that you should just cram, just like this. Because sometimes they will ask you, what is the y asymptote of this graph, or what is the range? Once they're talking about the range, they are talking about the y asymptote, and they're talking about what? This point. This point is on the y-axis. Once they're talking about the domain, they're talking about the x asymptote. X asymptote, where the graph cut on the x-axis. Yeah, it cut here. So just like that. I hope you understand. So somebody can ask, so how can we redraw this graph? Once you want to draw this graph, you must calculate your x-intercept and your y-intercept. Then you are done. You'll be done there. So let's try to calculate our x-intercept. Yeah. X-int, just like the previous video that I posted, they don't change. X-int, calculating x-intercept and y-intercept is the same thing. So x-int, here, you let y be 0. Let y be 0. Where do you let y be 0? On this formula that they've given us. Here. So let me circle this one so that it don't confuse you. X-intercept, you let y be 0. So let's rewrite our formula. Remember, this formula just started it now. So yeah, okay. We let y be 0. So we put 0 in here. 0 equals what? 3 over x minus 5 plus 2, right? So we need x. So we take the 2 to the other side. That is negative 2 equals 3 over x minus 5, right? So we want x. What should we do? X cross multiply. So any number is divided by 1, you know, right? So this one will multiply that one, and that one will multiply that one. So negative 2 into what? X minus 5 equals 3. 1 times that. 1 times 3, it's 3. Any number multiplied by 1 is that number. Then this, we do FOIL method now. Negative 2 times x, that is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 5, that is positive 10. So most students make a mistake here. Did you hear what I said? I said negative 2 multiplied by negative 2, negative 5. I didn't say negative 2 multiplied by 5. No. You must include this sign. Once you forget this sign, you are done. Then match you equals what? 3. Then you're solving for x here. You take this to the other side, that and that. So see, you want to make this the positive, or maybe you can just take this to the other side, but you'll find the very same answer. I like it like that. I like to take this. I like to make this positive, so I take it to the side, then take this one to that side. So I took the 3 to this side, it becomes negative. Then I take that one to the side, it becomes positive. So there's minus that equals 7. Then 2x, I'm looking for x divided by 2. See? Then x equals what? 7 over 2. So this is my what? My x-intercept. X-intercept is what? It's where the graph cuts. It will cut at 7 over 2. 2. That is what? 3.5, I think. Yeah. That is 3.5. So 3.5 is somewhere here. So 7/2. So now we are looking for what? Our y-intercept. Y-int. Let x be 0. So for y-intercept, we're talking about this, right? So we let x be 0. We let x be 0 where? On this formula. I should get a marker actually, so that I'll highlight this, but I hope you understand. Guys, maths is very simple. You must ease your mind. Once you ease your mind, you are done. You are done. You already defeated it. So y-intercept, you let x be 0. Y-intercept is what we want, where the graph is cutting on the y-axis. So we rewrite the formula 3/x minus 5 plus 2. So y-intercept, we let x be 0. So where we see x, we put 0 over 0, negative 5 plus 2. Then y equals negative, okay, this becomes 0, né? Then it will become 3 over negative 5 plus 2. And then this will give you a positive number. The answer here will give you a positive number. It's just that I don't use a calculator. I don't have a calculator. I borrowed one of my students. So let me just try to resolve it for you. Just that it will take a few minutes or seconds. Okay. Just wanna redraw this, then we're gonna do a problem here. But this one is gonna give you a positive answer. Okay. 3 over, solving for this again. Then 3, this over 1 here. That times that is that. That times that is what? Negative 10. Don't worry about what I'm doing. You can simply use a calculator, then you'll get a final answer. Which is what? 3 that times that, negative 7 over negative 5. So yeah, y equals 7 over 5. Because this, yeah. Once you punch this on your calculator, it will give you 7 over 5. So do not mind this. It's very simple to do this. I'll do a lesson on how to solve this without a calculator. Yeah, the answer here is 7 over 5. So 7 over 5 is somewhere here. Somewhere here. Then let's redraw our graph. We're redrawing our graph like that. Cut on 7 over 5 and 7 over 2. Our graph approaches the asymptote, but it will never touch it. Never touch this arrow with this or this line with that. It will become wrong. It will be wrong. This graph will never touch the asymptote too. So the other graph is just goes in here. Then you're done. That's it. That's how we redraw this hyperbolic function. Hyperbola is very simple, guys. Hyperbola graph is very, very simple. This is the simplest graphs that you come across. So let's quickly do this question. Let's quickly do this question. The diagram below shows the graph of f of x equals a over x plus p plus q. The asymptotes of f, I get it. The asymptotes of f intersect at. So the asymptote, you remember I told you asymptotes are what? We have what? We have x and what? And y asymptotes. Remember? So they're telling, they actually gave us the asymptotes here. So you must just know which one cuts at the x and which one cuts at the y. The asymptotes of f intersect at negative 3 and negative 1. So you stop there. Negative 3, I get it. Just get asymptote, I get it. It's asymptote. So negative 3 cuts where? On the x. So which means here is negative 3. You write it. Then, and what? Y cuts at where? Negative 1, which means where? Here. it's -1. Here it's -1 here. And cuts the x-axis at x equals what? 5. Oh yeah, they told us it cuts the x-axis at x equals 5. They threw it for us. They wrote it for us. Then, but they didn't tell us about the y-axis, where it cuts the y-axis. But surely on these questions they'll ask about it. Oh yeah, is it calculate the y-intercept? That's the question. So yeah, long story short, write down the values of P and Q. Write down the values of P and Q. Once they're saying that write down something, it means that thing is here. It's within your eyes. You just have to figure it out. Just have to figure it out because it's here within your eyes. So P and Q, you remember P and Q. Remember I said what? P is what? X asymptote or what? Or domain. Then Q is what? Range or what? Y asymptote. Did they give us here? So once they say write down something, it means it's within your eyes. You just have to figure it out, guys. So yeah, solution. Okay. 1.1. Write down the values of P equals. Remember, guys, I told you that once you see, yeah, our P was what? X equals negative. If P is -5, just like that, then you should take this -5 to the other side. It becomes positive. So let's take it from here. You see here P was what? Was +5, right? Then here it's what? We write it as -5. On the graph it's positive. Once it's positive on the graph, then on the formula is negative, and vice versa. So in this case, on the graph it's what? It's what? It's negative. So here it becomes what? Positive. Yeah, we write it as positive. If you wrote it as +3, then which means here it will become -3, because I get it 3, -3, 3 minus 3 equals 0. Then you take the 3 to the other side, just like I explained. Then Q doesn't change. Q they're giving us is -1. So yeah, we're done there. 1.2. 1.2, they're asking us to calculate the value of A. The value of A. Okay. So now let's rewrite that formula there. F of x. Remember on the previous video that I taught you, I said f of x is the same as this. Once they have written as f of x, you can also just write it as y plus q, right? So we have our p and q. So we substitute them. A over x plus 3 -1. So now they're looking for A. Once they're looking for this variable, so you check on the graph. You check on the graph which coordinates do you have. We have the coordinates of this point. You can't use the coordinates of this asymptotes because they already exist here. So you check, or if you have the x or y coordinates of this graph. Then if you have the x, and if we had this one, one can use that, then they will find the very same answer of A. If one can use that, they will find the very same answer of A. So in this case we have what? -5 and what? And 0. That is the coordinate of here. -5 and 0. And the x-axis, remember they said F cuts the x-axis that they're giving us. So this is the coordinates. That is the coordinates. So this is the coordinates that we're gonna use. So where you see y, you put 0. Where you see x, you put what? -5. So here 0 equals A. We are looking for it. X -5 plus 3 -1. 0 equals what? A over -5 plus 3 negative 2, negative 1. We are looking for a, so we take this to the other side. It's like solve for x, guys. It's like solve for x. Negative 2, negative 2. So here, any number is divided by 1. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. 1 times negative, 1 times a, it's a. So our a is what? Negative 2. Then you're done, guys. You're done. Then your formula will look like, therefore, you know what this means, therefore. Then this means because. 1, 2, 3. Once take this dot to the other side, it's because. So our formula will look like negative 2 over x plus 3 negative 1. So this is our standard formula of this graph. Yeah, 1.3. 1.3, calculate the y-intercept of this graph. You know, guys, you know how we calculated this y-intercept. Y-int, let x be what? 0. Then we put 0 where this x. So we're just going to do the very same thing here. Hence I said mathematics is very simple. Very simple. They're just trying to confuse our minds, our brains. And our brains are very intelligent. There's no dumb cop, guys. If you work harder, you will become a genius also. Because you'll train your brain to become a genius. Y-int, you let x be what? 0. Get? So where you see x, you put 0. You see x here, put 0. Negative 1. So y equals negative 2 over 3, negative 1. You know I don't have a calculator, so I have to solve it myself. Negative 2, this is over 1. That times that is that. That times that is that. That. So the answer here is what? Negative 5 over 3. So therefore our y is equal to negative 5 over 3. So if you can punch this on your calculator, negative 2 over 3 minus 1, it will give you this answer. So you are done. 1.4. Oh, 1.4. 1.4. Write down the domain of f of g. Oh, guys, you can guess this one. And I just told you now, once I say write down, it means this thing is here within your eyes. You check domain. What is domain? Domain is this. What can you call domain again? X asymptote. X asymptote here is what? On this. It's p. Here it was negative p. Here it was negative 5. But on the graph it's what? Positive. If it's negative here, it's positive. So here you write it as negative. If here it was, guys, come on. This one you can take a guess. I'll buy you a time. Domain. What is it? Okay, domain. Okay. When you write domain like this, where x is the element of all real numbers. X is the element of all real numbers. It means, how can I explain it? X is the element of all real numbers. It means like this graph can cut on the x-axis, but comma means but x cannot be what? This negative 5. Once they're talking about the domain, you check this. You check on the graph. You check on the graph. You don't check here. You check on the graph. Domain is the x asymptote. They want the x asymptote. So they want the x. They are talking about the x values. So you always write it like this. X is the element of all their numbers, but x cannot be what? 5. If maybe they looked for range, this is the domain. This is the domain. everything here is a domain. The domain, you write it like this. Then range, you say y is the element, is the element of all real numbers. Y is the element of all real numbers, but y cannot be what? You check on the graph. I get it. It can't cut here. It cannot be -1. That's the range of this graph. So 1.5, determine the line of symmetry of f of x with a negative gradient in the form of y equals mx plus c. So this one is for you guys. It's very simple. It's for you. Once you get this correct, you can just contact me there. Get into my profile. There are my WhatsApp numbers there. Text me with an answer of this, then I'll buy you airtime or voucher to play. Because these days you like to play with Hollywood Betway. Get this correct and then I'll buy you your voucher. Or I'll buy you airtime or I'll send you cash. You will decide. Thank you for watching my videos, guys. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you understood. If you didn't understand, you can just go through the video again. It's very simple, guys. And make sure you subscribe so that you will see more videos like this. Yeah.